anti-white, non-white female mayor calls for the 2 white males to be fired, and 2 white males who were going into a black community to protect innocent black people from this individual. And I can assure you, if he was in some sort of inebriated state in public, causing problems for them, I'm sure the least of which was deciding to crash in the drive-through. He was probably getting a laugh out of that. That he's never done anything before. I can assure you he's never done anything wrong before, let me just say. So 2 white police officers in a non-white, look at all of the good that white people are trying to do, and the excuse is still used that we have to destroy Western civilization, the anti-whites say, because of white people. And these white police officers, now this mayor immediately throws them under the bus before the investigation even starts. But on its face, you can see that they're justified in taking the actions to preserve their life and to protect the community. And most importantly, from the orbital view, to preserve civilization for Christ's sake. Law has to be enforced. And so she immediately called for their dismissal and demanded, this is an important additional fact, and got the resignation of a white, homosexual, female, anti-white chief immediately. So the point being that this woman who is anti-white, and it's not just the fact that she is homosexual, that should, and that, let me rephrase, that folks would think should be a shield for her, because her homosexuality is not just an attraction to women, it's something she advances in a community or communities of people that destroy Western civilization for a particular lifestyle. So this is anti-whiteism in the form of a sexual preference. Now here in Going Free, we don't care if you're attracted to somebody of the same sex. That is for you to do in your private life. And those in the white positive sphere who are homosexual are not advancing a homosexual lifestyle agenda that erodes and destroys Western civilization. But this chief was involved in that kind of advancement. And so she was anti-white to her core, and female, and a homosexual advancing anti-white homosexuality. And it still wasn't enough. And what does it prove? Something else that I've said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're white, you can never be anti-white enough. You're still going to be victimized. And if anybody wants to say, I don't know, I didn't look up, 30 generations back, or I hate these idiots in our sphere who say, oh no, she has, whatever race in her as well. She is white presenting. She is, unless you are, and normally this is done with a white person who has Jewish in them, or a white person who has Hispanic in them, or something like this. Unless they are clearly, without question, Jewish, or clearly without question Hispanic, they are white presenting to the rest of the world, and they would be shielded by that when it comes to anti-whiteism. But it demonstrates that they are not. If you are white or white presenting, this is one of the reasons why CNN was attacked the other day. It is not enough. You are going to be a victim too. Look no further than the white idiots who were standing up in their apartment and giving the thumbs up to the anti-white non-whites in the street, saying, we're with you, we're anti-white, destroy Western civilization. And a rock comes through, shattering the window. Could have, or probably wouldn't have been a rock for the size of that window. It would have taken an immense amount of physical force on that piece of glass. So we're talking about a lot more energy, a big piece of concrete. And then they shout through. And of course, that could cave someone's head in, making them a vegetable or killing them. And then they shout through the window, what are you doing? We're as anti-white as you are. And hearing that, you're still white, buddy. And there comes another brick or chunk of cement that could kill you, cave your head in, make you into a vegetable, make you wish you were dead, blind you. Still not anti-white enough because you are white. And what about the statues, right now who are statues to white anti-whites, statues to white people who, for various areas, fought to destroy Western civilization, being defaced, being destroyed by anti-whites who know what those statues represented. So don't be like a conservative and drunkenly giggle that, oh boy, they didn't know they were destroying one of their own. They know very well, dumbass. It is a white person and they're erasing them. We've said for a very long time, there aren't going to be any statues to the white traitors to our community. The anti-whites are going to eradicate them all, and you're seeing that now. So there is no being, if you're a white person, being anti-white enough today, you would have to be anti-white for all time, and you would also, if white, have to change your race. And we know with this Rachel and some of these other women, they've tried real hard. Some of the elected officials in the federal government who would like to be president, they've tried real hard to be a different race, and it's just not enough. Because if you are identified as just by anti-white, non-whites looking at you as having enough white blood in you, then you are going to be expunged as well. And if you need evidence for that, you need look not far at all, because you can see it going on all around you, and you can see it going on yesterday, and you can see it going on the month before and the year before, and you can see it at different levels of bloody outcomes. You could see it in Haiti. You could see it in a great many places where they decided, we're going to rise, we're going to kill the whites, and then when the whites were gone, we're going to kill the ones that have a little bit of white or a lot of white in them, and then we're going to kill the non-white people who have half or half white. Then we're going to kill the non-white people who have a little bit of white in them. This is anti-whiteism, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're going to wait and see. This is another excuse. And we're going to, or not wait and see, we're going to continue to see the anti-whites use these sorts of things to enact increasingly draconian anti-white policies at your work, at your university, in your high school classroom, all the way down into your preschool classes to harmonize the diversity. And it's going to cost you, white man, not only are you, and white woman, not only are you going to be taught and your children taught to hate our people and hate yourselves and be white guilted and surrender more and be deferential and give up more, but you are also going to pay for it all. Your intelligence is going to have to be employed to make it happen. You are going to be punished when it's not working, even though it couldn't possibly work, because you cannot make a tiger and you cannot make a well, let's use lions. You cannot make a pride of lions and a herd of gazelle get along. It is nature. There isn't any amount of multiracial harmonizing that is going to fix this. So they're talking about it at schools. They're talking about it at the federal level. They're talking about it at the state level. They are coming up with more programs, and you're seeing the kind of discussions that they're having, all the way to the point of saying that they're going to defund or take a fifth of the funds in New York to police department. If you live there, you better think about moving now, because it's about to get a lot more rowdy. You're going to see far fewer police officers with a fifth of their funding evaporating. You're going to be seeing in Chicago and Seattle. You're going to be seeing in Minneapolis. You're going to be seeing in Atlanta far fewer police officers as the funding is yanked. And you're going to be seeing come into creation parallel forces that are going to be observers, and then those observers are eventually going to be giving the power of the law to arrest, etc. And things are going to continue to get worse, as I predicted, by way of anti-whiteism and the efforts of anti-whites. And we have to grow in parallel and strength by spreading going free to everyone we can come in contact with while we have the breath in our lungs to do it. Don't pursue any other path. Everyone is a waste of time. And